Yeah, Homer led the league in tackles with 85. The deep ball for Darius Prince, and Philadelphia's on the board first.
On the draw, this is Bryson Allen. And Allen weaving his way all the way down to the 22.
10-yard line, 5. Mayfield, Dancy, all around. Throw it as far as he can throw it. Jump ball coming. Crazy stuff. Not this time.
And you want to be a wide receiver, you're going to have to take a little bit of a hit like that as Brown got him in that shoulder, but watch. Those are teeth.
Do we have a dentist on staff here?
Shady Sports, man. I'm back here with a very, very special guest, quarterback Mr. Devond Blair Jr. Devond, how we doing today, big dog?
Yeah, pretty good, man. It's nice to be here today. Nice to be on the show, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, sir, man. Really excited to have you on. So right off the bat,
Yes,
in the bio, I wrote that you were signed with the Oklahoma Flying Aces. You're also signed with the Duke City Gladiators. Both have been announced. Where are you at with your decision on where you're going to play in 2024?
Honestly, it's still a decision to be made. I'll know a little bit more once we get a little bit closer to the dates. But I really just don't want to say anything too much yet on here. But I am signed with the Duke City Gladiators and the Flying Aces of the Oklahoma NAL League. So I'm just excited to see where I'll end up within the next month.
For sure, and both the organizations are highly respected. The Flying Aces are coming back after a 3-year hiatus. When you look at both those teams, when you signed with them originally, what kind of stood out to you about them?
When I signed with the Duke City Gladiators, what stood out there was actually Coach Pimmo, Pat Pimmo, signed there as the offensive coordinator, and we had a really good friendship over the past couple years, and him signing as the offensive coordinator, he knew what I brought in as far as a quarterback standpoint. So he drew me into the Duke City Gladiators. And once he left, a lot of chaos happened, but it's still a lot of interest in there. And like I said, we'll see what happens with that within the next month. But then the Oklahoma Flying Aces came about just because I played with Coach Davis last year when I returned to Topeka for the last couple games, and we were fortunate enough to do a special thing there, win a game for the Topeka Tropics. And so leaving off there, that was a good thing. And him having his own team in Oklahoma, I felt like playing under him again, we could definitely do some special things like we left off last year.
Last year, that one game that you ended up winning, a big part of that was your offensive line. They were great in pass protection, great in the run game. What was your relationship like with those guys?
Oh, man, it was great. It was great. I love those dudes, man. I love those dudes. It was great. The 3 games that I played there and I got to play with those offensive linemen, we had a great, I'll just really say, really bond. You know what I mean? Like, it was one game in Omaha where, it was my first time in, and we had to go off of me putting my foot up and down, and we've never done that before. And so for us to really execute that the first time, it really gave us a lot of confidence going into the next game, which was the game that we won. So, yeah.
Coach Davis is kind of an old school coach. He holds players to a really high standard. What did he teach you about the game of football, but also about the game of life?
Really just be decisive on my playmaking. You know what I mean? Like, just know that I already trust my ability to do what I'm going to do. So whenever I make my decision, don't second guess that decision, especially in indoor football, because everything is happening so fast and everything like that. He kind of taught me really to stop stepping out of the pocket and just try to step up into the pocket. That kind of helped me that last game when we won. But other than that, I mean, I would just say as a great coach, he definitely helped me understand the game more as a quarterback as far as being more decisive.
Now currently you live in a suburb of the DFW. DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area, is known for their amazing quarterback trainers. Amazing. They produce many great quarterbacks in that area. What kind of skills have you been working on down there, and what have you learned from the other players around you in that area?
It's been exciting working out with some of the other guys around here, to see what some of their journeys have been and to see where they're going to end up, just like me. I haven't worked with too many trainers. I just worked with, a lot of players that's playing here, there, here, and there. So that's been a good experience just to link up with a couple guys from other teams and stuff like that. But I wouldn't really say I got with too many trainers. I really focus on training myself. I take a lot of pride in training myself. So, yeah, that's where I stand on that.
When you sit down in the off season and you kind of watch film, what are some big things that you kind of look for?
Well, the big things that I look for in myself is it depends on what position that I'm playing because I have to look at a lot of things. Sometimes I'm playing wide receiver. Sometimes I'm playing quarterback. Sometimes I'm playing kick return. So I have to really look at a lot of different things. It depends on what position that I'm playing. Being that I'm going in the quarterback this year, I looked at a lot of things as far as my mechanics, as far as my, just the small things on how am I handing the ball off with the running back and how am I taking the snap from the center and, am I reading my first keys on point? Am I going to my second read? Just the little things like that.
I kind of want to transition to your upbringing. You grew up in Oakland, California, which is a whole culture shock in itself. What are the biggest differences from Oakland to Dallas in terms of culture?
I mean, the culture is sort of like the same, I would kind of say. I would say the biggest thing is the language and just the way that they dance out here. The way that we talk and the way that we dance in Oakland, California is a lot different than how they are out here in Dallas. They're more, I don't know how to say, I don't know how to put that one together, but they're just more just into it, freely into it, In Oakland, we just a good two-step, you know what I mean? And our language is a lot different than what they use out here. But I would say pretty much the music is the same, the food is the same, everybody dressed the same. So it's really not that much difference in the two other than the language and the dancing.
Now, coming out of high school, obviously, like you mentioned, you're from Oakland, you went to high school there. You ended up going to Laney College, which was featured on Last Chance U in 2019. When you look at Laney, what kind of led you there, and what was your college recruitment process like coming out of high school?
Well, what led me to Laney was really close to home. With me growing up in Oakland, California, it was a community college that was within maybe 20 minutes within my house. So I knew I didn't have to commute far to it. And then I actually went to community college when I was 21, 22. So I didn't really go straight out of high school, I took some time off from high school in order from college. But what led me to Laney was just being close to home. And I just knew that if I wanted to play football, then that would be my best opportunity because of commuting and, I had kids at that point, so it was a lot of different things that played into me going to Laney. But the years that I did play at Laney was amazing. I loved the 2 years that I played there. We went 19-3 my 2 years there, won a bowl game, got into a playoff my second year, ended up losing that year. But the winning culture and the attitude that we all had there was amazing to be around. I miss it every day, man. It's nothing like that Laney culture. It's nothing like it.
I kind of wanted to hit on this point. You do have kids yourself, and you often talk about them on your Facebook page. How much of a motivating factor are they for you?
Man, big. They really changed my lives a lot. They're the reason why I go so hard. Every rep, every play, every day. It don't even matter what I'm doing other than football. They really just the reasons why I want to wake up and be a better person.
That's really great to hear. But, when you moved on from Laney, and you looked at your other options and you kind of sat down and like, okay, I'm coming from JUCO. Where should I transfer to? How do you land on your destination?
I would really say that recruitment process was, I guess, really helped from my coaches at Laney. I honestly don't even know how I ended up at Missouri Southern State University, but I was blessed to get a full scholarship there. It was a Division II in the MIAA. Somehow I ended up there, and I was blessed with that opportunity, and I took it.
You know, a big common theme we see in your journey of football is politics, right? Politics plays a huge role in the game of football. When you sit and you look at politics in football, how do you define that in a word or a phrase?
It can be something that can hold a player back, and it can hold you back, and it has nothing to do with your talent. It has nothing to do with who you are on the field. It has nothing to do with you winning the game, making a play, losing the game. So that part of things sometimes you can't really control because it's what other people are saying. So with that narrative on politics, you really just gotta control what you can. You know what I mean? I don't want to dive too much into it because you know, I got a lot of people that's paying attention. So but I would say politics is definitely something that can hold a player back and has nothing to do with talent.
You know, after your time at your Division II, you transferred to Northwestern Oklahoma State after the COVID year. During the COVID year, though, how did you stay mentally and physically locked in?
Me and my roommate, Travier Jackson, we was roommates for 2 years at Missouri Southern State, and we just kept each other locked in the whole time. We kept each other focused on the bigger picture, was graduating from school and getting a shot at the NFL. We didn't really party. We didn't really do anything outside of football. If it had nothing to do with working out, if it had nothing to do with literally bettering our bodies or something like that, then we had no business doing it, and we wasn't doing it. So big ups to my brother Trey, man. He really kept me focused through that time, and a lot is paying off. A lot is showing. He's going overseas to play in Europe in April, I want to say, in March. April, yeah, in April he's going overseas to play in Europe, and in the next couple months I'll be headed to the IFL or the NAL to continue my dream. So yeah, big ups to my brother Trey.
Yeah, Trey's a great wide receiver. He's going to do great with the Paraguay line this year. Really excited to watch him. But was that a big factor of the reason why you kept continuing to go back to Topeka?
It was a little bit. I wanted to go back to Topeka because I knew they were struggling, to be honest, and to be that where I started my career, I knew it would have meant something to go back and win some football games there because we didn't win football games there my first year. So I had other options to come back to last year in the CIF. I could have went to Omaha. I could have went to Sioux City. I could have went to a couple different teams that wanted me. But I chose to go to Topeka because I wanted to win them some football games. It meant a lot to me just to win those games.
You were in the CIF with Topeka. Obviously, Topeka in 2 years went 1-19. But the CIF as a whole, it's kind of dissolved. Some teams have gone to the NAL, some teams have gone to the AFL. When you look at the CIF, what was one of your favorite things about it, and what was your least favorite part about playing the CIF?
I say my favorite part about it was being able to switch around in multiple positions, just being able to show how versatile I am in the sport of football. I don't think many players really get to show that they're gifted in that way. To go from kick returning the ball to throwing the touchdown pass the next play. That's generational talent right there. But I would kind of say pretty much. Other than that, that would honestly probably be it.
I want to transition here to your IFL career. You spent time with IFL teams, San Diego Strikeforce, Vegas Nighthawks, and Tulsa Oilers. When you look at each of those three organizations, how were those experiences, and what if I'm a new player coming out of college, you know, and I'm thinking about playing the IFL, what would your biggest piece of advice be?
My biggest piece of advice would be for the next person to be patient. Be patient, because when I first got to the IFL, it was a lot of wait your turn. Like I said, it has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with you being better than the next person. That's where the politics part plays into it. So you got to know how to just play both games on and off the field. You know what I mean? And just be a good teammate. Don't be selfish. Be somebody that's going to be uplifting their teammates during the hard times and the good times. You know what I mean? But the biggest thing, like I said before, is probably just be patient, because you probably won't come in and play right away. And you don't want to let that affect your attitude. You don't want to let that affect how you carry yourself throughout the camp, throughout the process of the season or something like that. So just because you're not getting reps, that don't mean that you got to let it affect how you carry yourself.
Very well. I completely agree with you. When you made the jump from the CIF to the IFL, was there a talent gap, or was it basically the same?
I would say it was basically the same. The game probably was a little faster. The athletes were a little better. But for me and my personal experience, I would say it was the same, just because I found ways to dominate in the CIF. And then when I got my opportunities in the IFL, I found my ways to dominate. So honestly, to me, it will be the same.
I wanted to also hit on this. Obviously, a lot of people believe you should play wide receiver and DB, and we see the hate that you receive on Facebook, especially in your comment section. How do you block out the noise and stay focused on your ultimate goal?
Really, just I can't wait to show people what it's really about on the field. It's so much talking that can be done, and I've been told my whole life that I constantly can't do something, or I constantly won't do something, and I find ways to get it done. And when it comes to playing quarterback, I've always been a quarterback. It's something that I've always wanted to play. I've just played wide receiver because of, once again, political things. But now that I have a shot to go and actually be the QB1, it's time to silence all the critics and show people that I am a quarterback. I am not a wide receiver,
I have no doubt about that. And the fact that you moved from California to Dallas to help, push your dream farther, being in Dallas, being in a new area, what is your daily routine currently to help you get adjusted to a new environment?
Really same routine, man. I wake up early in the morning, I go to work, go to my day job. After I get off my day job, I hit the gym. And after I hit the gym, I come home, hit some yoga, do some stretching or something for my body, lay down, wake up, do it again the next day. My days is pretty routine. There's nothing really extravagant going on with my days. It's pretty boring if you ask me, but it's all gonna pay off in the end. But I would say that's pretty much my routine since I've been here in Dallas. Wake up, go to my day job, come home, work out, and wake up, do it again tomorrow.
Having a daily routine is extremely important, and I'm glad you recognize that. But
Yeah.
outside of, we mentioned off camera about your music career and how you eventually want to pursue that full time. What other hobbies do you have outside of the game?
Music has always been a hobby since I was like 12 or 13 years old. But other than that, I like to paint. I like to paint. Yeah, I would say painting has really become a hobby of mine. I've really started to do that a lot. Other than that, really just music and painting.
I'm really excited to listen to that EP when it drops. I think that's gonna be great when it finally comes out. But Devond, man, it's been great having you on. I appreciate your time. I learned a lot about your story today. My final question is: this 2024 season is your breakout year. 2022 was a great year for you, but 2024 is going to be a different level of excitement, entertainment. What is your biggest goal for the season?
My biggest goal is to win a championship. At the end of the day, that should be anybody's biggest goal when they're playing a sport or when they're competing for anything. That's to That's to be the best in it, and you can't be the best unless you win a championship. So that's really my biggest goal, is to come in and win a championship. And it takes a lot to do that. You know, you can't just say the biggest goal is to win a championship. It's a lot of little things that's going to play into that a lot of people are not going to see, you know. So at the end of the day, winning a championship is the biggest thing that's important.
Without a doubt. Really appreciate your time again. You know, I look forward to this breakout season in 2024, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, man, for sure, man. I can't wait to come on the scene with a big splash. People have no idea.
I believe that.
I'm a game changer.